In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to create your own monogram logo within the program Adobe Illustrator. If you guys haven't already checked out my video on how to sketch your monogram logos, please go check that out first and enjoy the rest of the video. What's going on, guys? It's Garrett, and in today's video I'm going to bring you guys how to make your own monogram logo. And this is basically going to be the second part of my whole entire monogram style. And I did a video a little while ago talking about how to create your own, sketch your own, and design your own. So if you guys have not already checked that out, there will be a link in the description below, or you can click the card on top of the screen. And I'd really watch that because it's going to really show you guys how to pretty much break down the letters and then put them into a monogram, and then come back to this to learn how to vector them inside of Illustrator. So right here is going to be a DA monogram I made for Daniel. He's a part of TK, and I wanted to do this on a video just because I want to show you guys how I actually do it myself. And I'll probably be doing a lot of versions of this outside of this tutorial, but I'm going to be breaking it down to just how my sketch is, and it's going to be really easy and it's going to be really fun. So go ahead and open up Illustrator with your monogram sketch. I just took a picture with my iPhone, but you guys can scan them in or take them with your iPad or Android, whatever you guys want to choose. And it's placed into a 19 by 20 1920 by 1080 document, and then just make a new layer on top of the inserted picture. And this is when you're gonna really want to zoom in and kind of find out what size you want your rectangles to be. So I'm gonna work around probably the biggest length of my sketch, so probably something around this size. Of course, be working with the color black or gray. You guys can work with other colors like red, but sometimes I like working on black because when I hide the background, it really goes away. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put that up there. And all I'm going to do really quickly is hit Control-C, Control-V just to copy and paste it so I have kind of a another version of this. And then I'm going to put this here, hold Alt and drag one up. And I'm basically going to keep doing this until I reach the top of my second line. And then when I'm done with that, make sure everything lines up correctly. And then I'm going to delete all the inside ones. So I have these two perfect rectangles. I'm just gonna kind of size them up together. So now that we have that, we're gonna create the D first, just because it's a lot easier to kind of create the background letter, then we can work in from the other side. So the rectangle right here is nothing too special. It's not hard at all. So I'm gonna be really worrying about this whole entire circle. And if you guys haven't already also watched my shape builder tool, we're gonna be using this inside of this tutorial. So I'm gonna go ahead and make a new logo, or a new layer, excuse me. And I'm gonna make a circle that's the same height as the top one and the same bottom as the bottom one. And I'm just gonna drag it to where I feel as if it's comfortable. And of course, I'm gonna be able to move this around. And then all I have to do is hit Control-C, Control-V, and then paste that right back in, and then hold Alt and Shift, and then make it as small as I want. But of course, I want it to be the same top and bottom as these, so it's gonna be the same bottom as this one and the same top as this one, so it creates the same length. And of course, to get a perfect size, you guys can zoom in all the way. So there you go. You're gonna see the little red lines pop up when you're doing it correctly. And now that I have this, all I have to do is hold Shift and click both of these. Go, of course, to my shape builder tool, hold Alt, and then click right in the middle. Or excuse me, highlight them both, click the shape builder tool, hold Alt, and then click right in the middle, and it should go away once you click both of them. There you go. So of course I'm gonna have to delete the other side, so that's really cake. Nothing too hard about that. All you're gonna have to do is make a box right here, just like that. Highlight both or hold Shift and click both. Grab that shape builder tool, and then we got the D. And of course, if you want to take around the other edges, we can. But I'm gonna leave just the extra kind of length right here for when I come back to it. And then of course we can just put the other rectangle. So it's basically the same thing, same length, just have to take this side and then hold Shift, move it down. And I'm actually gonna make this one bar inwards. So we have kind of, if we take away the background, we have just a basic D so far, and it's nothing too crazy. It's not very too hard to make these. So now that we have that, we're actually gonna want to start going down and creating the A. So I do want to create the feet first. However, the way I'm gonna do this is the same way. Hold Alt and then drag one down, hold Alt again and drag the other one down. So I have kind of like the feet And then of course I'm going to hold Alt and drag this one over to the top and do the same thing. So I have this perfect length because this is where my A is going to meet at the top. So I'm just going to grab this again and hit Control C, Control V, and I'm sure you guys are getting very confused with all of the angles I'm making, but I'm only going to be making these very basic angles like 300. And of course we're going to be able to size everything differently. And you could make this on a whole new layer, which I'm actually probably going to do. So all I have to do is click Shift on everything, delete it, make a new layer, and then paste it back in. And you might have to resize some things, but it usually clicks inside when it knows it's in the right length. So I'm gonna put that right there, and then of course take this other side, Control C, Control V, transform and flip. I'm gonna flip it vertically, and then we're gonna bring all the way to the other side and make that point right in the middle. So I'm gonna hide this D logo that we actually made, and I'm only gonna be working with this A part. And I wanted to center this, so I'm just gonna make another new layer and grab my rulers, hitting Control R, and put a ruler just straight in the middle of this, just so I know where to put these, because they're not gonna be too centered if I'm just kind of placing them around. So that's definitely another tip that everyone should look out for. So let's place in the middle. Of course we can start taking away some extra stuff. So I'm gonna click all of these, click that shape builder tool, and just take away just these layers. And I'm gonna leave that extra stuff right here for kind of some extra lines. Actually, I'm gonna take away the middle and the bottom pieces. So grab that shape builder tool, click these out. Actually, I'm gonna leave that there. And we should be good. So we paste this D logo back in, hide the background. It's starting to come along. It's not perfect yet, but it's starting to come along very easily. And this is already going to be centered, so however I do want to make sure that these have the same length apart. So just making a new layer and just grabbing a rectangle. I learned doing this is probably the easiest way. Is grabbing another rectangle and then taking it from one corner to a next. So I have this, and then I can just grab it and move it over so it touches that corner. And this just has to be moved over just a little bit. Make sure that it goes back to the same length and same height. So of course there's gonna be a lot of tedious kind of little itsy bitsy angles you're gonna have to mess with, and I mean this by like the bottom of my heart, that if you guys don't touch these, that you're not gonna be able to create a good logo. So we got that. Totally can delete this now, and of course once we have all these done, we can grab this and then the shape builder tool, and then just hold Alt. Maybe I didn't click this one all the way. There we go. And then since that went away for some reason, all I'm gonna have to do is just, I believe I can just grab this and just drag it out. Just like that. So we have kind of a D going up right now, and of course we have the A. So now that we have that, we're kind of coming along. All we have to do is put this middle piece in, which is going to be the same thing, just it's basically this one. We're going to center it, and it clicks in the middle when it's like a certain height and length, so it's nothing like you're going to be all crazy about, and it's literally a few clicks and you guys are set. So of course just grab that shape builder tool again, click those out of the way, and then we're going to have to fix the feet. And all the feet I'm gonna do is I believe I made them straight up and down. So I'm gonna just hide this again, and all I'm gonna do is just grab my vertical piece, put it at the bottom, hold Alt, and drag this piece to the cross. And so I'm gonna be having mine end right here, and do the same thing for the other side. So I have these two pieces, and I can basically just hide this background layer. Whoops. Highlight all these, grab that shape builder tool, and I'm gonna delete that side first. And then we're gonna basically take these two rectangles, the vertical ones, and we're gonna bring over to this side as well and do the same thing. So put that there, hold Alt, drag, drop, delete, put it there. And then we have these two. Grab your shape builder tool, hold Alt, click, and then we're gonna put this one back where it originally was. And if we highlight these three, you can delete the middle. And then we can delete both these vertical ones. And we have some nice looking feet for your A. So that's the feet part. You guys can actually take those and make them smaller, or you can make them bigger. If you want to make them smaller, just grab one and just kind of make it a little bit smaller. And of course, center it back with that A piece. I might be doing that just for a little bit. So it's not very hard. It's a lot of customization with this kind of stuff. So we have this. And then if you want, you can of course add one at the top right here. Like that. So you have just the regular A. I can hide my ruler if I'd like. But I'm gonna leave this out just for a little bit. So now that we have this, we're gonna start taking away those kind of weird cuts that you have inside. And you can take this and you guys can delete that, or you guys can put it away. But for the cuts, I'm actually gonna just take all my layers right here. And this is gonna be the really easy part. You're gonna hit Control X, make a new layer, and hit Control V. And it's gonna all paste it onto its own little layer. And then you guys can move it back on top of it. So let's not highlight it all, make it a lot easier. And highlight it all and put it right back on top of this. So, doesn't have to be perfect, of course. But now that we have that, of course, highlight it all again. Sorry, minimize that layer and put the opacity down to about 30. And this is when the the kind of creative things are gonna come apart. So we're just gonna grab a color. I'm gonna use blue, and you can take the same size as the rectangle. Since you have that one rectangle size already made, all you have to do is hit Control C, Control V on it. Excuse me, on this rectangle, and put it literally on top of the other one, and just take the size down and cut it straight in half. And then we're gonna take it, put it to like a blue or some like bright color that's gonna really stand out. And we're gonna just basically hit Control C, make a new layer, hit Control V, and then we can zoom in and start doing stuff. So there's two ways we can do it. We can do it on top of each other like this, or we can just minimize this again. And we can highlight it all, go back to 100, and then we're gonna take the image, we're gonna make it smaller, and just put it right next to it so we can work on it this way, just so we can see what's going on and we can work on it together. And all I'm gonna do is put this back to a 300 angle, did it this way, and I'm gonna put one right here. And of course I'd zoom in just because it's a lot easier to look around. So we got one there. Where else we have a break? I believe on this side we have another one on the other side. So all you have to do is hold Alt and drag along. So we have that one, and there's no other ones on this side, so we're gonna work side by side. So we're just gonna take these two and then highlight everything on this side. And we're gonna grab the shape builder tool after we look at this, and then hold Alt and just click where these line up. So I'm gonna be cutting right there. For some reason this bolt didn't click. So right there, that's gonna go down to here. And that's basically all the cuts that we have on this side. So we can take that and just delete that rectangle. And we're gonna go back and basically come in and clean all this up. There's gonna be a little line right there that we'll fix up. And then for this side, we have the one at the top. So all we have to do is basically highlight these at the top, click the shape builder tool, and then click that middle piece out. And of course, again, just grab and delete that one side. So now we have to do that to the other side, or we can work on from bottom to top. And it's literally just the same thing. We're just placing things around, putting them above everything. And I know there's gonna be one cut right here. So highlight these, the shape builder, delete that part, and then delete here. There's another one, and it's basically a very repetitive thing. And I kind of like doing this. I think it's really fun and it's really cool on how you can just click one button and literally delete everything. So shape builder tool, delete that again, and then going back in here, hit Control X, And then we have one cut that's up here, and this is gonna be the easy one. So literally all you have to do is grab this, and you can do it either like you know what angle it is on this side, which it should be around 60, or you can just 300 and then rotate it again. But we're gonna put it on this side, and for the last piece, highlight it all, shape builder tool, hold Alt, click that out, and then click this away, and we should zoom out and have a D and A monogram logo. So we are not done just yet. We're gonna have to clean up these sloppy edges, and the way you can find those is if you highlight everything, and you're gonna see these extra lines that come around everything that aren't supposed to be there. Luckily enough, we only have one, so all we do is we can either grab the shape builder tool and hold Alt and just click it out, but sometimes that really messes everything up. Or we can make a new layer and grab the pen tool and just basically pen tool the same angle as this, just like that. And we can just take this and move it like brown. Doesn't have to be the right color. Shape builder tool. Just like this. And then hide that brown version. And then you can delete this part because it's just not needed. And then we zoom out, and everything should look nice and crispy. We can just of course add other things, like we can take this piece and put it back at the top right here, and it doesn't look half bad. I actually kind of like it. And basically we have everything done, and this is just how to make a really easy monogram logo. Of course it only took about 16 minutes to make a full entire logo, which is kind of insane, speaking that some people take forever to make your kind of client work. So of course guys, you guys can finish it off by hitting Control X or Control C, hit Control V, go to Window, Pathfinder, and then click right here where it says Merge, and you guys have your logo perfectly made. It's a vector size, so you guys can change the size, but that's basically how you do it. It's how you go about it, and your sketch is really going to depend on what you do. But of course guys, if you haven't already checked out my video about how to make these on a sketch, definitely go check it out. The card was on the screen before. You can also find the link in the description below. But basically that's going to be it for today's tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed. There's kind of be more talking about how to make it than a tutorial, but of course you guys need to have, you know, the understanding on how to make these cut pieces out and then place everything. So that's going to be it. Of course, if you guys can, leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, video ideas, or want to see anything specific, let me know in the comment section below. Client work, you guys can email me, Twitter, or hit up Magic Branding on Twitter. Other than that guys, I'm out, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace out.